All right, congratulations, Ibis and Impala students. We're so proud to be celebrating your graduation ceremony with you tonight. Thank you all for joining our call this evening. So as I had mentioned before we started recording, previously we used to end classes with live project presentations, but there are just so darn many of you now. So we thought it would be better served to make a gallery of all of your presentations. That's why you all submitted them through those forms. Thank you all for sending those in. And then having the ceremony to be able to celebrate. So without further ado, let the commencement commence. We are starting off with some words of wisdom from your wonderful cohort leaders. Our first cohort leader to speak is Roy Mosby from the Ibis React class, and he'll be talking a little bit about recognizing your growth. Roy, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Yeah, certainly. So, hey, thank you all guys for showing up and congratulations to each and every one of you. I know that we've been through a great deal over the last 3 months or so. So, kind of want to take a little bit of time to, just kind of look at what we've done, like celebrate the stuff that we've done and look at the things that we've learned, as well as take all that stuff to look towards the future. So again, this is the time to celebrate. Y'all have done really good work. It's really hard. Coding is not a natural thing. It does not come easy. So your persistence paid off. So you can take a sense of pride and accomplishment of this. It's not an easy thing to do to do any to code. Um, you've worked through many hours of coding challenges over the last several months. Again, it's all hard work. I cannot stress that enough. It is a very challenging thing, and you will have had some frustrations along the way, but that's natural. It's just something that we need to learn how to embrace. As you go back and celebrate too, also take some time to go back and look at all the things that you've been through, catalog all the different challenges that you've faced, recall how you navigated through some of them, either pushing it through yourself, looking things up on documentation, Stack Overflow, or whatever the case may be, or even just being able to reach out and talk to a mentor because it, half of problem solving is really knowing what you've done in the past so you can apply it to the problems that you have at hand. um and with that, one of the things that I would encourage y'all to do is start up a developer's notebook. So you see a lot of people posted on Medium, stuff like that. It could be the thing that I'm kind of talking about, but also you don't have to publish like that. Keep it for yourself, keep it personal. Capture your triumphs, capture your discoveries and all your little aha moments, and you'll have something to go back and look back at as you continue on your journey through your, throughout, learning newer more technologies, whereas you go on to figure out what we're going to or what you're going to do with that information. Um, so I mean, bottom line is, very proud of you. Congratulations on all your hard work. Take this time, acknowledge what you've done, and then set your eyes on the future and go from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Roy. Words of wisdom, words to live by. All right, our next speaker tonight is going to be Gina Castromonte. You'll recognize her as the cohort leader from the Impala Node class. Gina.
Hey everyone, I wanted to say first off, congratulations. You've made it through the ups and downs of learning Node and React, and it's very frustrating, like Roy said, going through hours of endless errors, pushing through, even when things get overwhelming. That alone is a huge deal. And I believe it relates to something that all of you have here, and that is resiliency. And if there's one thing about the people that make it into tech, it's that they're very resilient. It's not just that they're super skillful, it's the ability to keep going. And learning to code isn't just about memorizing syntax or knowing how to structure an API. It's about learning how to stay in the game even when you feel like you can't. When imposter syndrome starts to kick in and you're really doubting yourself. Sometimes it's when the job applications are just endless and you don't hear anything. You really just want to push yourself and keep going. So, how do you keep that momentum going? Something that always helps me is finding the reason why you started. whether it was a career change, a better future, or just because you really love coding, you love creating awesome stuff, you love what you see, and you like learning new things. What you want to do is keep building, whether it's by yourself, whether you find a group, or just you find like an open source project. Just go in there and start asking questions. Um, you want to stay connected. This journey is so much easier when you have a community. Keep in touch with these peers, join other dev groups, and again, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's so many people in this industry that are willing to lend a hand and tell you their own story. And don't forget to celebrate your small wins. With every bug you fix and every concept you grasp, um, it all counts. And lastly, be patient with yourself. I know it's hard, but growth takes time. You're not supposed to know everything right away. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and just push forward.
Awesome. Thanks, Gina. It's got me motivated. Yay! All right. Yeah, and the first step is always the hardest step, but you've already done your first step. You got through the advanced class, or even the steps before that. You've gotten a few steps in the journey. All right, and reaching this point is no small feat. I mean, it's an advanced class, and making it here means you've already come so far from when you first started coding. If you think back to those early days, applying to the program and like wrangling our crazy pre-work and all of that stuff, everything was new. It felt like there was just drinking from a fire hose moment every other week with just this sheer volume of information to learn. And it probably felt really overwhelming, but here you are, mastering complex concepts, tackling complex projects. You've done it. It's amazing.
Symbiote of life.
So like this cohort in particular was particularly challenging. You guys really rose to the occasion because this was the first time that we had condensed 18 weeks of work down to 15 weeks to be able to fit our trimester schedule. And that is no small feat. You really should be proud of the achievement of getting through such a condensed class compared to what the classes that came before you did. It moved quickly going through both of these classes, and there were weeks where you were probably like, I don't even know how I'm going to do this all. How do I fit in studying and family life and just everything, like late night studying, trying to find bugs and squash them so that way your code would work. And it all brought you to tonight. So you should be incredibly proud of yourself and your accomplishments. We are extremely proud of you all. As Roy had mentioned, it's important to pause and recognize how much you've grown. So before we move to the next phase of our graduation celebration night, we want to celebrate the journey. And Lillian Wong, our learning engineer, has kindly made a video capturing some of the pre-work submissions and the intro final projects from some of the folks that are in these classes. There are so many of you, we couldn't do all of them, but here's a lovely snapshot of several that I'd like to share so that way you can see and enjoy and think about just how far you all have come. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen right now with the sound, and off we go. Awesome. Okay, wow, that was a lot of work, and we flied through a bunch of it too. So drop a rocket emoji into the chat if you feel like you've leveled up since creating these projects. I know you have, because we've looked at some of these final projects, and you definitely have. As you all saw, these are great projects that you've built, and you know so much more and can do so much more now than you did then. So think about all the times that you stared at an error message and you were convinced that it was there just to like completely ruin your life. And then you cracked that problem and you were like, light bulb, I feel like a coding wizard. So that moment when you realized, wait, I get this now. That's growth. That's progress. That's why we're celebrating tonight. So keep that in mind of all of that growth and progress that you've done. Keep the momentum going, like Gina had said. I'm going to share how you can view your both your classes' final project presentations, so that way we can all see how far you've come. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for this gallery into the chat now, so feel free to pull it open and take a look. And then I'm also going to screen share, so that way you can see kind of how to find your way around it. So let me get back to my screen share here. Okay, so if you click the link in the chat, then you should be on this page here. You will see some duplicates from some folks because we did have a number of you all that were dual enrolled. So don't think that you've only seen all of their work by looking at one. Check out any and all of the posts that you'd like to check out and see. If you'd like to get more information about what your classmates have shared about their project, you can click on a particular tab and it'll show you their video description as well as their biography. This is a great way to network too, using your gallery, because you can connect with each other on LinkedIn. Thank you all so much for sharing your LinkedIn profiles, so that way you all can start making those connections and helping each other find your paths through and support each other as you work through the industry. And then click Watch My Presentations will take you to a person's presentation. So clicking on any of those will
Hello everyone, my name
that way you can go ahead and watch. Some of you might have comments turned on. Some of you might not. That's totally fine. It's completely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable doing. There should be instructions in that lesson 15 page that showed you how to turn them on or turn them off. If you want to leave a comment, then you can just go below where the video is of their presentation and say whatever your comment is, to be able to share comments. And those of you who do have comments added, feel free to take a look back and see all of the wonderful things that your classmates are sharing about your work. Okay, any questions about how to use the gallery view? Everybody feel comfortable with finding their way around? If you can just throw a thumbs up reaction. Okay, I think we're doing pretty good on that. All right. Wonderful. So I'm going to play some music. Feel free to take some time to be able to use that link and look around at people's work, to be able to explore some of your friends' work and see how their final projects turned out and all of that good stuff. So give me just a moment. I will share some music, take a few minutes to be able to take a look at each other's work and leave some comments for one another.
I just want to apologize ahead of time. My presentation's a little long, so.
No problem with adding. Don't worry.
I am so glad to complete this class, because the last class I couldn't. And I didn't think I would finish this time because life events. So, but I'm glad.
Awesome.
Great job, Annie.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yeah.
So the project is not complete because the main feature of having trouble getting it to work. Do I re-record the project when it's done and share it?
No, you don't need to. If you'd like to update it, then that's totally fine. Use that same form to submit it, and then just ping me on Slack.
Okay.
anybody wants me to kill the music, that's totally fine. Just put something in the chat for me.
Word design patterns is like the same as the word font.
All right. As enthralling as all the final projects are, go ahead and bookmark that page so you can revisit it whenever you've got a little downtime over the coming week or so. And all right, so there's some other projects to explore and lots of things on that gallery view. Take some time to be able to check those out. Celebrate your achievements and those of your classmates. You'll still be in the outlet channel. You'll still be in the discussion channel. So, and of course, you can direct message people on Slack. So if you want to send any notes to each other about good job, way to go, feel free to do that. Speaking of achievements, I wanted to take a moment just to highlight some of the data from your all's classes because we're a little data crazy sometimes, as you could tell by the extremely long assignment submission forms you had to submit every week. So here's some fascinating information. In the Impala class, we had over 600 assignments submitted. In the Ibis class, there were over 1,100 assignments submitted by you all because you're a bigger class and because that's just a lot of work. I know. Can you believe those numbers? So what does that translate to? 11,000 hours of student work being accomplished because of how much time you had to put into each of those assignments. On the other side of things, our mentors translate the hours that they put into reviewing your assignments translates to about 1,400 total hours of reviews being done by volunteers for both classes. That's a lot of hours. We had over 60 mentors helping with the group sessions, one-on-one sessions, and reviewing assignments all together. And we had 60 hours worth of group sessions that were logged, 50 hours of one-on-one sessions that were logged, which is just mind-boggling when you think about all of these numbers. It was pretty crazy. That's a lot of work that you all put in, a lot of work by our cohort leaders, by our mentors to get you all to where you are today. And so we would be derelict in our duties if we didn't take a moment to honor the mentors that were part of your class. So I would like to share another little video here. Let me get it queued up and then that way you can see our little thank you to our mentors. If there are any mentors on the call right now, big hearts and hugs out to you all. All right. Yeah, so for any mentors on the call, thank you, thank you, thank you. Your dedication, your commitment has helped in ways beyond words. You can see it in all of these students' amazing projects that they've built. Thank you for your time, your energy, your patience. You all are amazing, and you'll hear that echoed from students in the chat and across Code the Dream. So thank you all for being a part of the organization, helping our students be as awesome as they are. Okay, so our evening is wrapping up. So here are the next step reminders that I wanted to throw out there, just to do a little housekeeping things as I promised. If you haven't turned in your final project yet, it absolutely must be in by March 5th at the latest in order for us to process the review and get you on your way to your next step in your journey. The practicum classes for spring, so the practicum portion will start on March 24th. You should have already registered. Frank is going to be organizing everything, getting you all set to be able to start on those between now and that time frame. There will be an orientation the week preceding. Frank has all those details in the outlet channel for you. Once we process and complete all of your final project reviews, you should receive emails with a request for completing a post-class survey. You should get results on that and a certificate. So if there's anything that feels like it's lacking or you feel like you're in the dark about anything, feel free to reach out to cohort leaders or myself so we can follow up and make sure you have everything you need for wrapping up our classes. And we also want to invite you all to be sure that you are linked to Code the Dream on LinkedIn. So I'm going to copy and paste a website here in the chat that gives you instructions on how to connect with Code the Dream on LinkedIn. So that way you can show that you are a student in our program, and so you can keep connected with us and keep in touch. Alrighty. At this time, we're going to ask you all to turn on your cameras, put on your graduation caps if you can. I understand some of you might not be able to, so anybody who can and will, please go ahead and do that. We'd love to see you all in your graduation caps. We know that the feature isn't available for everybody based on your version of Zoom and the type of device you have, but it's okay. And feel free to check if you have it. If you have it, great, go ahead and put that on there. While you all are looking for that information, and getting your graduation caps on and everything, then feel free to also throw any kind of emoji up in the chat if you feel like you've ever had a moment in this class where you surprised yourself with what you could do. Or put a emoji up in the chat if you feel like you've unlocked a new level in your coding journey. If you're ready to take on your next challenge, whether it's a new project or practicum or another class, or just continuing to improve. Because no matter where you go next, you've already proven that you can do hard things. You've already done those first steps. You just got to keep those legs moving and keep going, and you can do it. All right. And I'm just going to cycle through some of my screens because you all are on multiple screens for me. So that way we've got pictures there in case you. Okay. So here's to all of your hard work, persistence, the amazing skills you've built. Congratulations, Ibis and Impala classes of 2025. Thank you all for attending tonight. We are so excited that you've graduated. We're so proud of you, and we look forward to the amazing development that you'll be doing in the future. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.